Sketching the News number 1. Trump, the BBC, and the license fee shakedown. Donald Trump versus the BBC, the billionaire who wants your license fee. There are certain headlines that make Britain collectively choke on its tea. Donald Trump threatens to sue the BBC is one of them. Not because the idea of Trump threatening legal action is shocking. He sued, or threatened to sue, everything from entire newspapers to comedy shows to, reportedly, a small Welsh farmer. Long story. No, the real eyebrow raiser is the unintended punchline. If Trump sues the BBC, UK licence fee payers could, in theory, end up footing the bill. Yes, you, me. Your nan in Worthing who only wants to watch Strictly, all of us. Potentially paying the world's richest political performer for the privilege of him being offended. The irony is almost too on the nose. The BBC is not a private corporation lounging on Scrooge McDuck vaults. It's a public service broadcaster with a funding model that is famously unpopular with everyone, except apparently Donald J. Trump, who may have just discovered it's a pot of money he might like a scoop from. The licence fee, £169 a year, a sore point in every British household. Not designed, one imagines, to bankroll a former US president's legal adventures. Yet here we are. Trump, outrage, and the perpetual motion machine. Trump's relationship with the press is well documented. He criticizes them, sues them some more, and then uses the lawsuits to reinforce his criticism. It is a loop as predictable as the EastEnders' doof-doofs. But the BBC is not some rogue blog. It's the BBC. The idea of suing Auntie is a bit like suing a church bell. It's loud, occasionally irritating, but suing it feels spiritually wrong. But Trump has never been one to resist a spotlight, particularly if it's one he can invoice. The truly British tragedy, paying for all this. Should a case progress, and most of Trump's threats don't, the unfortunate reality is that the BBC's defence comes from its pot of public money. Which means Britain's poorest households, those who already struggle with the licence fee, could effectively fund a billionaire's fight against an institution they didn't even criticise. Austerity Britain meets Mar-a-Lago. It's the most unlikely crossover episode of 2025. Meanwhile, back in reality, the BBC will almost certainly defend itself vigorously. Trump will almost certainly continue shouting into microphones, and the British public will almost certainly continue Googling, "Do I really have to pay the licence fee?" while quietly paying it anyway. But the optics are too exquisite to ignore. A publicly funded broadcaster potentially being shaken down by a man who literally lives in a gold-plated penthouse. It is, politically speaking, the equivalent of being mugged by someone driving a Lamborghini. Final thoughts. Whether this becomes a real legal ordeal or just another entry in Trump's ever-expanding list of legal sparring matches, one thing is certain. If anyone is going to cost the British public more money this year, it really didn't need to be a billionaire from Queens. But this is where we are, in a world where the culture wars have reached such a fever pitch that the UK might accidentally contribute to Trump's legal coffers. If it wasn't tragic, it would be hilarious. And let's face it is hilarious. Certs 2025, Sarnia de la Maré FRSA, published by Telltale Club Press.